Can we talk a bit about Whitney's drug problem? When did that?
I don't want to talk about that. That has nothing to do with this documentary or anything that I want to speak about.
Okay, you don't want to talk about it, but obviously it's
Not at
it's
all.
the thing that so it's important, isn't it?
That's not what.
For more than a decade, one question has refused to disappear from the music world. No matter how many documentaries have been released, how many interviews have been given, or how many investigations have been discussed, people continue asking the same thing. Was the public ever told the complete story surrounding Whitney Houston's final years? Now, that conversation has returned in a major way. Following the passing of legendary music executive Clive Davis at the age of 94, social media has once again erupted with debates about Whitney's career, the people closest to her, and the powerful figures who shaped one of the greatest voices in music history.
No, I didn't introduce to Whitney at all. We did this together. There was no introducing her to anything. She already knew what she knew about. I mean, when I grew up with New Edition, we drank beers and things like that. I didn't get into really heavy until.
While many remember Davis for discovering and developing iconic artists, others revisited long-standing criticisms about the music industry's power dynamics and the immense influence he held for decades. At the center of those renewed conversations is someone who has lived with public scrutiny for almost 30 years, Whitney Houston's former husband, Bobby Brown. Over the years, Bobby has repeatedly suggested there were parts of Whitney's story that the public never fully understood. He has expressed frustration over being portrayed as the sole reason for her struggles, and has maintained that history overlooked the many complicated factors surrounding her life and career. With renewed public attention on everyone involved, many fans are wondering whether Bobby will eventually choose to share more of what he experienced behind closed doors. So, today, we are taking a closer look at what is known, what Bobby Brown has publicly said over the years, and why this story continues to generate so many questions even after all this time. There is no denying Clive Davis's influence on Whitney Houston's career. Long before she became one of the best-selling artists in history, Davis recognized something extraordinary in her voice. Under his guidance, Whitney became a global phenomenon, delivering hit after hit and setting records that still stand today. Albums sold by the millions, sold-out world tours became the norm, and Whitney established herself as one of the defining voices of an entire generation. For many people, Davis represented the ultimate music executive, a man capable of identifying incredible talent and transforming it into worldwide success. Yet, with that success also came enormous influence. Throughout the music industry, executives, managers, and record labels have often been criticized for controlling creative direction, finances, and public image. These conversations are hardly unique to Whitney Houston. They have surrounded many major artists throughout history. In the days following Davis's passing, countless discussions resurfaced online. Some focused entirely on celebrating his remarkable achievements, while others revisited older criticisms and allegations that had circulated for years. Many of those claims remain disputed or unproven, but their reappearance illustrates how influential figures often leave behind complicated legacies that continue to be debated long after their careers end. Few people witnessed Whitney Houston's private life more closely than Bobby Brown. Their relationship was passionate, turbulent, deeply loving at times, and undeniably troubled. Together, they experienced incredible success, public controversy, personal struggles, and the pressures that come with constant media attention.
Grammy time, and her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobby Christina was present for some of that.
Bobby has never claimed to be perfect. In interviews and in his memoir, he has openly discussed his own mistakes, including substance abuse and behavior that damaged both his marriage and his public image. Rather than denying those chapters of his life, he has acknowledged them while insisting that the public narrative often ignored Whitney's own agency and the complexity of their relationship. One accusation Bobby has consistently rejected is that he introduced Whitney to drugs. According to Bobby, Whitney already had experience with substance use before their relationship became serious. Whether people accept his account or not, that has remained his position in multiple interviews over the years. The public, however, largely settled on a much simpler narrative. Bobby became the bad boy blamed for Whitney's decline, while countless headlines portrayed him as the central reason behind her struggles. It's a perception that followed him for decades, and one he has repeatedly argued was incomplete. By the early 2000s, Whitney and Bobby's private struggles had become impossible to hide. Arrests, tabloid stories, and reports about addiction dominated entertainment news. In 2005, the reality series Being Bobby Brown gave audiences an unprecedented glimpse into their daily lives. Instead of repairing Bobby's public image, the show reinforced many viewers' existing opinions. Cameras captured moments of chaos, emotional tension, and unusual behavior that quickly became defining images of the couple. Fairly or unfairly, those scenes shaped how millions of people viewed Bobby for years afterward.
Nick Gordon, the things that are being said by him recently, how do you approach that?
He knows what happened. I don't know what happened that night, but he does.
Yet, reality television only shows edited moments rather than complete lives. Behind the headlines, both Bobby and Whitney were navigating addiction, enormous professional pressure, relentless media attention, and the expectations that came with global fame. Friends and family members have often described those years as far more complicated than the simplified stories presented in tabloids. That complexity is one reason why Bobby's comments continue to attract attention whenever he discusses Whitney. Listeners wonder whether there are experiences and conversations that only the people closest to her truly understood. In the years leading up to Whitney Houston's death in February 2012, reports painted a mixed picture of her life. Some people close to her believed she was working toward rebuilding her career and improving her health. Others described ongoing personal challenges and continued struggles with addiction. Publicly, Whitney appeared determined to return to music. She continued recording, performing, and speaking optimistically about the future. Privately, however, friends and associates have offered differing accounts of her emotional and physical condition during those final months. One fact that continues to attract attention is that Whitney died in her hotel room at the Beverly Hilton Hotel during Grammy weekend. Downstairs, Clive Davis's annual pre-Grammy party proceeded after news of her death became known. That decision generated significant public debate at the time, with some people arguing the event should have been canceled, while others defended the decision as consistent with Whitney's love for music and celebration. The differing reactions demonstrate how emotionally charged that moment remains even today. As heartbreaking as Whitney Houston's death was, another tragedy followed only a few years later. In January 2015, Whitney's daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, was found unresponsive in a bathtub at her Georgia home. She remained under medical care for several months before passing away later that year. Medical examiners concluded that her death resulted from drowning combined with drug intoxication, although they could not determine whether the circumstances were intentional or accidental. The similarities between the deaths of mother and daughter understandably shocked the public. Those similarities fueled years of speculation, documentaries, online discussions, and countless theories. While many questions continue to circulate online, it's important to distinguish speculation from established fact. Authorities investigated both cases, but many of the broader claims that appear on social media have never been substantiated by publicly available evidence. Bobby Brown has spoken openly about the pain of losing both Whitney and Bobby Christina. He has also expressed his own beliefs about certain individuals connected to their lives, though some of those views remain matters of personal opinion rather than proven fact.